So I'm DeShuna Spencer. I am the CEO of kweliTV. We are an internet streaming network. We are dedicated to the issues and stories of the global Black community. We have over 180 plus films on the platform of the African diaspora. I'm so excited to have the Celistan twins. They are two awesome filmmakers. NaKisha Nichole, welcome to Meet the Filmmaker, or Meet the Filmmakers this week since there are two of you.
Thank you for having us. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here. So you have a film on kweliTV called The B Word. It's a very deep topic, and I'm a squeamish type of person. So, but for those who have not seen the short, talk about what it's about. So it's a spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the film yet.
Nicole, you want to? Or you want me? I can set it up for you. Okay, go ahead. I moved to LA probably when I finished undergrad. I went for grad school, and when you're in LA, you're on campus, you don't get to eat as much, and I lost a lot of weight. I was working out. I came home, and my sister thought something was wrong with me. She thought I had an eating disorder. So her and my mom did like an intervention. Is there something going on? Is there something you want to tell us? And I was like, no, I'm not at home with mom and all her butter that she puts in her food. So, I lost a little weight. So my sister thought it'd be a great idea for a film because there are a lot of African-American women who are suffering from the disease. And we think that it doesn't affect people of our color, but it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly when you talk about the B word, bulimia, you don't really see stories of people of color, especially African American women. We just assume that that's something we don't deal with. We don't really deal with anorexia. We don't deal with those type of disorders. But you do any research is to see like what the stats are for Black women in bulimia when you were doing research for the film.
We did do this, is NaKisha. We did do research, but unfortunately, there aren't a lot of research out there. I think the latest thing we found was 2002 or 2005, something like that. And we shot this probably 2 years ago. Okay. So there was a lot of information out there for other races, Caucasian women, but not really African-American women, Latino women, Asian women. There weren't any numbers out there specifically for women of color. And we found the book, Nicole, I'm sorry, remind me the name. Not all Black girls know how to eat. And we'll tweet out the name and the author of that later. And she basically told the journey of what happened to her and how in our society, no one believed she was a young Black girl who had bulimia. We're supposed to be voluptuous and our curves, and that's what we're known for. No one thinks we have eating disorders. So we spoke with her, and she told us about how it's actually a mental issue. It's not about your body. It's about how you're feeling emotionally and what you're going through. So she was a great resource for us. And we went to some different groups that are anonymous, and we spoke with some girls there too. And then we started visiting different blogs because with technology right now, you can find anything. Right. So we found these different websites where they would tell you exactly how to binge. And we just found it just alarming. I was like, Nicole, this is something we have to talk about. Young Black women are going through this too. Of course, it's another thing in society that we're left out of. I'm sorry, go ahead, Nicole.
And we found out that it was more so on the lower socioeconomic level. Like it was happening in our hoods, and no one really thinks so because, like my sister said, we're supposed to be the girls with the big breasts, the wide hips, the big butts. But that's not how we're all made. And again, like she said, it's all mental.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, society, no matter what race you are, you still notice that society sort of tells you should look a certain way. And especially for Black women, because of the curves that we have, or honestly, I wish I don't have curves.
I just had a baby. I was like, okay, I just had a baby. I'm going to give me some hips. I'm going to get a butt. Didn't happen. Got nothing.
For most Black women, except for us, right? You separate curves, but some of us, you still have this mental thing like, oh my God, I don't fit what society says is beautiful. My body doesn't fit the model look, and so it is a problem, I think, for everyone.
And I feel it's so really interesting right now. Sorry, Nicole. I think it's so interesting right now how the dynamic has changed. It used to be, oh, I want to be thin. Now it's this whole phenomenon with, I call it build a body. where these women are going out and getting butt injections and lip injections and everything. Supposedly the Black women, these features that we have, every other culture wants it now. So I just think dynamic has totally changed, and I'm just so confused right now. And it's just believing. My sister just had a baby a year ago. So in my mind, I'm just thinking, like, where is it going to be when she gets 15 or 16? Because it's constantly changing and transition of what little girls think their self-esteem and their self-worth is. You have Kim Kardashian, who has more followers than Obama on Twitter, tweeting out naked pictures.
Right.
I'm so confused right now, and I don't know what to do. But of course, your platforms like yours give us these voices so we can tell these stories.
And then when you do say something about how there needs to be a different view of how women are perceived and their body image, you're known for hating, or your body
shaming. That's the new
shaming. Have to hold themselves accountable. Like, I don't want my daughter to think that that's okay. Like, you don't have to be on Twitter and Instagram naked. Like Aisha Carey, people got mad at her when she said, you know, people need to cover up. We are mothers, we're wives. It's like, I don't understand this generation. I feel sorry because they didn't grow up. They didn't get a different world. They didn't get the Cosby Show. They didn't get what we got.
Living single, right? Now they have.
Yes, exactly. I love living single back in the day. I wanted to be grown and have my own thing.
We all have to be Regine at some point in our life.
And like, we're buying DVDs, like we're making sure we have all of those shows from back in the day, so when my daughter gets to an age, she can see what it's supposed to be. Like, I just told my sister I'm going to go on Amazon and order Polly with Pulliam Night. Like, I want my daughter to see
Vanessa Bell Calloway.
Yeah.
You know, what this whole crazy reality realm that we're in.
I know, and it's interesting. And then we can talk more about your backgrounds as filmmakers. I was watching like a video on Facebook, and people do the contour, like things on their face, which is crazy. But now people doing contour like with their stomachs and their chest, and like the breasts look big. I'm like, what?
Cleavage, you can give yourself abs. It's just like you're building your body.
Yeah, it's totally good.
It makes me so sad. I don't know what to do. It makes me so sad. And we have 6 nieces, and we try to have these conversations with them about self-esteem and self-worth, and going against the norm of what everyone else is doing. But when they leave your house and go to school, and the other little kids' mom lets them watch the Kardashians and Love and Hip Hop, how do you compete with that? Because those are their peers. Of course, they don't want to listen to us. And you're my auntie. You're an adult. You don't get it. So it just really scares us right now. I'm so scared.
Yeah, it's intense. I mean, these kids, their makeup looks better than mine. I'm like, good Lord. I quit the house like, wow, I'm off my game.
I'm a lip gloss and mascara type of person, and I'm good. Like, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. But little girls these days at 8 and 9, they have YouTube videos of telling 34-year-old how to put on. I don't get it.
It's funny. I worked on Christina Million's show on E, and I fell in love with her daughter. And I noticed that her daughter has a how to put on makeup video, and people were like going so crazy. But like you said, her makeup looked flawless. Like, it was better than I would do. But she's like, I don't. Exactly. She has to be no more than 5 or maybe 6 or 7. But her makeup, like, she did this, she did her eyes, and it was like, I don't even know what this called when you do your. I call it blush. I'm sure she's calling it something else.
Wow, that's crazy. So, I mean, with this particular film, you're talking about tough subjects. Is that something that's important to you, dealing with issues that affect women?
Definitely. We also, after that film, we also did a film called Layers, which was Nicole's directorial debut. And it was basically about, young Black women and alopecia and dealing with that. I think right now the natural hair movement is beautiful and it's amazing. And most people of color, women of color, are embracing it. But I think sometimes it goes back to Black women have destroyed their hair. So most of them have scarring alopecia and they're balding and the edges are leaving or whatever. So we wrote a film about that, just embracing, your natural beauty, but also talking about what the hurt and the drama about the hair stems from.
Right. And as a Black woman, our hair is such an important part of us because, again, we were talking about image with the body. With the hair, it's the same thing. When someone sees my hair, because I've been natural now for 6 years, I was nervous when I initially went natural. I didn't know what my hair would look like. I had a family member. Plus, I cut my hair off because I cut it really short. He asked me if I looked like Florida Evans, and I'm like, first of all, we have the same bone structure, number one. No, but I was like, no, I don't look like Florida Evans. I mean, and if I did, what's wrong with that? At the end of the day, but there's just, when it comes to Black women in hair, again, we're looking to society on what is beautiful, and I think now Black women are really starting to embrace that this is how my hair comes out of my head, and it is what it is. And I did see that other film as well, and it was really touching too, because as someone, I've never had that particular issue with alopecia, but when I cut off my hair, I was nervous, what my husband would think, because he saw me with long, relaxed hair, and it was all like this, And so it is, sometimes it can, right, as someone just mentioned, hair becomes attached to our identity. Yeah, it definitely can be. One of the reasons I cut off my hair because it was breaking off in the back, and another reason is because I was really obsessed with my hair, with my relaxed hair and it being super long and straight. Like, I was very, very obsessed, and whenever someone tried to cut it, I'm like, don't cut too much. It was.
I need hang time. I need my hair to be long.
Exactly.
And it's funny because I have a daughter now. My mom watches her, and she always wants to part her hair and put these bow racks in it, and like put these rubber bands on it. And I'm like, don't do that to her hair. She's too young. You're pulling her edges already. She doesn't have to be all prissy and cute. Me and Keisha will put a headband on her in a minute, and all she needs. Like it's just hair. Like we say in the film, it's just hair. It's not that serious.
So what are you working on now? It seems like the two films I've seen, both of yours, seem to really have very deep issues affecting women. Is that do you feel like that's your theme when it comes to filmmaking, women's issues?
Definitely. Our platform, definitely. I think it's more for us about the younger generation. Like I said, we have 6 nieces, and now she has a baby. I call her my niece daughter. She's mine too. So just putting quality work out there where little girls can see, we're allowed to be flawed. We're allowed to have issues, but we should also talk about it, because there's also a stigma in the Black community. We don't go to therapists. We don't tell family business outside of the home. So just putting a platform out there that it's okay to be flawed, it's okay to be emotional, it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to say it's just hair, or yes, I have an eating disorder, or whatever is going on with you. We just want to put it out there that it's okay to have a voice.
Right. And say something, Nicole?
We want to cater to women, but we more so want to cater to African American women, because I think that we sometimes get forgotten. And sometimes no, we see you, we hear you. Like, again, I keep bringing up my daughter. I'm obsessed, I know. But, I started reading her a lot, and I noticed, okay, where's the picture of you? Where's the book about you and your dad? So it's like, even with reading books, I don't see her in books. So, I started writing a children's book so I can see more pictures of her, people that look like her. It's so important that we see us in film and television and walking down the street. Not just people who say that we're just one thing. I want to see us doing everything. And especially Black women. Like, we don't get the notoriety that we deserve because we're Black women.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think a study came out too that talked about how Black women are perceived in the media, typically more likely to be seen as sexualized and, very negative. We're fighting. That was a study that came out about that. And, what's so interesting and wonderful about what you're doing is that the characters are very complex. They're just not one simple character. It's not the same, I'm a single Black woman type of, story, or I'm an angry Black woman, I'm going to throw a drink in your face type of story. They're serious topics, things that we definitely need to talk about in our community.
Yeah, and I think one thing we always wanted to focus on too in our films, just that sisterhood. Even in the B Word, it was about her and her sister, and just having someone that supports you. And then when you move to Layers, she had 3 girlfriends with her when she was going through taking out her weave and cutting her hair. So our platform needs to be also about sisterhood. So I think most times Black women are angry and they have attitudes and we're catty. And no, I love my sisters. I am constantly pressed every time I see a Black woman on the street to make eye contact and say, hi, how are you? And tell her something beautiful about herself.
Right. So I see people trying to call in. We're not taking questions right now, but we'll take questions a little bit later on. Continue on, NaKisha.
So that's another thing that's going to be in our platform, that it's about sisterhood. I have 7 brothers, but I have a twin sister that I love dearly, and I just want other people to feel that love from another sister, even if it's not blood. So it'll always be a message in our films that, I got you. I got your back, even if you're not my sister. If you're my friend, I have love for you, and I will help you through this. And that's always a message in our films.
Right. I'm trying to figure out to delete something. I don't know how.
But... Yeah, I saw
that. I'm just going to like the... Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway. Because something that annoys me. So talk about your past, because it's interesting. Both of your twins and both of you decided to go into the film industry. Was that something you both talked about? Was it something that was important to you as a child, or where did it all come about?
You want me to start, Keisha? I've always been interested in film and television, and when I decided to go to college, I was looking into colleges. Of course, I wanted to go to an HBCU, and I was like, what school can I go to where I can study film? And Clark Atlanta University was a school that I chose. I got accepted, and it was something I always wanted to do. And my sister was working in community health education, and she said that it was very tiresome. She was doing HIV/AIDS, and she would come home. She would be not necessarily depressed, but her energy was changed because it's a heavy topic. So I was like, you know what? Come work with me one day. Let's see if you like it. So she started doing it, and she loved it. And I've been doing it for 8 years now.
That
and
is
I
awesome.
got accepted to grad school at USC, and we were apart for a year. I was in LA, and she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna move to LA. So she moved to LA with me, and we've just been working in entertainment ever since.
Wow. So talk about the transition to being in LA. And my last conversation was with Yaki. He's in Texas, but he's doing pretty well as a filmmaker. How has that changed, what you're doing as far as being Black women in the industry? Has LA made a difference for you?
I would say it's an old saying, but it's so true. It's all about who you know and networking and making those connections. I think I was in LA maybe for 7 years, and she was there 8 or 9. And we've been blessed enough to move to DC, and we've been here the last year, but it's about those connections and the networks that we made that, we've been working here continuously for the last couple of months. So it's an old saying, don't burn those bridges, because you'll need people and you'll need to network. So that's definitely an advice I would give anyone, to just keep in touch and check in, and also use your team and your network. We have so many friends that do the same thing. So we're working on different independent projects here too. And we just use everyone that we know to put out good work.
So what?
We recently moved from LA, probably like a year or two ago, maybe a year and a half ago, to DC. And there's actually a thriving production space here. Like I was working on a show for 8 months, and now I'm working on another show that I'm booked on for maybe another 6 or 7 months. So as long as, like you said, you have to create a good resume and just start sending it out. And your work speaks for itself. You send out your resume and someone's like, okay, let me hire you. Then the next job, you just keep getting jobs after that and after that. Right. And, I can refer, my sister's referred me to a job. I've referred her. So it's like, you stay working.
Yeah.
Right. And people a lot of times, because I'm also in the DC area as well. So a lot of times people don't think about DC as being a space where people are creating content.
We were terrified to move home, not knowing that we would be able to work in this field. And we had to come home because, my sister was having a baby and we wanted to be near family. But we've been blessed. There's a lot of work going on here, actually. So come to DC, guys.
Yes, come to DC. You should move to LA, because kweliTV is like, I like walking. I still like
exactly.
LA. You don't walk that much in LA.
Your own projects. Like, of course, we all have our 9 to 5, but that's not what is your passion. Like, I want to do scripted. I'm working in docuseries right now. So on the weekends and at 10 o'clock at night, you're working on your passion. You still have to do what makes you happy.
Right. When people say, various filmmakers have a certain genre, or what type of filmmakers do you think you both are? Do you see yourselves like in a particular genre?
Great.
I always say, go ahead, Keisha.
I'm a little. It's a great question. I'm not sure. I'll give it to you.
Do you mean like comedy, drama, stuff like that?
Well, some people they like narrative, shorts, or some people are into comedy. Some people, have various type of films they prefer to do.
Well, Nicole's sense of humor is horrible, so she would not be writing comedies. But I think I'll give a cliche answer and just say we're storytellers. Right now, we're working on a couple of docuseries that we want to get out there. The name one is Prey, about young Black women who are going through sex trafficking. And that's another thing. Most people think, it's happening in Tijuana and Asia. They're not thinking about the fact that it's happening in Long Beach. It's happening in Compton. It's happening in DC and Atlanta, the hub. So right now we're working on a documentary with different nonprofits who help young girls who have transitioned from sex trafficking and want to help people in their community. So
that's great.
We're also on a documentary called Crack Laws, about the initiative that Obama's doing about letting people out of prison, giving them clemency, who were basically locked up in the 80s, who were, I'm not going to say all of them were Black, but most of them were Black.
Right.
Because, yes. So they were in prison for like 20 years for crimes that, no one was murdered. So, starting to let people out. So we're doing documentaries about the people who've been let out of prison, how they're readjusting to being in society, using cell phones, readjusting with their families. Because I think it's really important, because you were in prison for 20 years. Yes, you were selling drugs, but you were in prison for 20 plus years for a crime that someone who's a different shade got lesser time for.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
side note, who was the one putting the drugs in our communities? So, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And these are both very, very good topics. I mean, especially for both of them, actually. One with this sex trafficking. I think DC has the highest rate of sex trafficking victims in the country, believe it or not.
You would never think it. You would never think if you come supposedly Chocolate City, which is not Chocolate City anymore, and you see these young Black women who are being trafficked and and the thing is, these girls are going to prison and getting these prison sentences, but they're being pimped out. No one's thinking about the fact that sometimes they're being kidnapped and brought across state lines or something like that, and these young men who are doing this to these young girls aren't really being accounted for. So we wanted to profile that as well, as why are the charges for the young girls when we're not thinking about the men who are forcing them into it. So it's so many dynamics to the story, but it's definitely a story we want to tell.
And so when do you see yourselves releasing these particular documentary series?
It's very I'm glad you asked that. It's very disheartening that we've had so many network meetings and no one cares. No one cares about the little Black girls who are being trafficked in DC and Atlanta and what's going on to us. So right now we're just trying to figure out an avenue to get that out there and to tell these young girls' story, because sometimes they're coming from suburban areas and it's happening to them. So it could easily have been me 10 years ago or you 10 years ago, depending on what the situation is. So we're figuring out a way to get the information out there, because the networks don't care. It's too sad.
Really? Yeah, it's interesting because
it's too sad. It's too sad.
A lot. It's too sad.
Yes, it is. It's very sad. Now, what
life is reality?
Right.
That's really interesting. Well, you have a home with kweliTV.
I know we do. We appreciate that, definitely.
But it makes me think too. I was talking to another filmmaker. We were just she's going to be on kweliTV. She has a reality show, but it's about women with natural hair, and it's a positive reality show. And she also was shopping around to networks, and she said that it was the women weren't the networks. I'm not going to say which ones. They felt the women weren't dynamic enough, aka they weren't ghetto enough. Exactly. Do you see that being an issue as women as content creators, and when you go to networks that aren't owned by us, basically saying that whatever you put out is not what they're looking for because it's not racy enough?
Oh, definitely.
I feel so bad. I'm sorry, Keisha, I'm gonna answer that.
Go ahead.
I feel because we work in reality TV, and if people can look at my resume and see what I've worked on, I'm not going to name the show, but we're shooting a scene, and the creator says, "Okay, I'm done with this scene. Somebody give me an out." So basically, your out is I want somebody to throw a glass in your face, throw some water in your face. I want y'all to start fighting, and it's like you have these beautiful Black intelligent women who want to be on TV so bad that when a showrunner tells you to throw a glass in somebody's face or hit somebody so they can get their quick out, you're like, okay.
Wow.
But then it's even worse when it's someone who looks like us who's telling you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never tell another Black woman, another woman, to hit another woman for no reason. And it's like, you have to see who's telling the narrative, who's telling our stories. It's so disheartening when you're sitting in a room and everyone who wants to tell a story about you does not look like you. And the higher that we get in our positions, the producer, we become producers. I'm an associate producer. I'm a producer. I'm a series producer. The less more people I see like me. Like the show that I'm working on now, it's just me. I'm always like the little only Black girl in the room. And I have to speak for the Black people that we're working on the shows with. I'm like, don't do that. Fix her hair. Fix that complexion. The makeup artist. That doesn't fit her complexion. I will go out and get her some makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to look out for each other.
So how do they react to the sister that stands up and say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna allow my sister to come out looking like this? I mean, how do they react to you when you stand up?
Well, she wouldn't be doing this if she didn't want to do it. Well, not to say it like that. You're giving her $2,000 to act like a fool. What you think she gonna say when she can't pay her rent? You think she balling? But she not. She getting paid for club appearances. You're not really paying for this show.
Right. See, blah, blah, blah club. Yeah, you're right.
It's all lies. And I just need people to understand reality TV is not reality TV. We have story producers. We have writers. We put you, it's just like in LA and Atlanta is not that small where everybody runs into everybody in the same club to even have these fight scenes. When the person walks in, they're mic'd already. Are you not thinking about this stuff? People think reality TV is real and it isn't.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm tired of seeing us on TV. I think it wouldn't be as bad if we had more stories to tell. Like, if it's not just 5 reality shows with Black women acting crazy. Give me 5 reality shows with Black women acting crazy, but give me 10 shows where you have a scandal or you have a How to Get Away with Murder or you have a so-and-so. Like, give me something different and I won't complain. I just giving me a trailer for Holly Robinson Peete. Her family has a new show coming on. And I tweeted on Facebook something. This is the type of show I would want to work on. I wouldn't be embarrassed to say I work on this show because of the content. She's, family. Her son is autistic and she wants to tell that story and that journey of parenting a child with autism. And she's been married for 20-something years. Like, those are the stories I want to see that I feel like look like me, because I want to be married and have children and go through that journey. I don't want to have fake friends and sit in a restaurant and fight and make my culture look bad on TV. It just makes me feel so bad when I'm skipping through channels because I don't watch it. Even if I work on it, I won't watch it. It makes me feel so bad to see my sisters do that because we're held to a different standard. I say it all the time. If Kim Kardashian was Black, she would not be where she is. This young woman is on the pedestal from a sex tape from 13 years ago, and now she'll probably be a billionaire. What's the difference between her and Superhead? What is the difference? Why is Superhead married to Columbus Short now and broke, but Kim Kardashian is a millionaire? Because we don't value Black women. Kim Kardashian, that's the thing with Lawrence Fishburne's daughter who did a sex tape, and she was like, well, Kim Kardashian did it. No, it doesn't work for you. What they do doesn't work for us. Absolutely. And we need to realize that.
So what can we do to change it? We just a couple weeks ago, maybe even a week and a half ago, there was the Oscars, and Oscars So White, and the issues of not having our stories being told, and the stories that are told are the ones that we were just discussing. How can we change the narrative? What can we do? I know you're working on it individuals, independent filmmakers, but is there more that we can do?
I I think it's all about who's telling the narrative. Like you have TV, you have OWN now, Bounce. It was the highest rated show for Saints and Sinners. Like stop giving ABC, NBC, all of these networks that much power. Stop watching their shows. If you're not representing me, why should I watch your show?
I think Viola said it best when she won. Was it the Golden Globe? Whatever she won last year. The only thing that separates us is opportunity. Let us get in that room to have that opportunity. And people I have this conversation with other races, and they say, "What about Chandra? She owns Thursday night." Okay, name someone else. Don't be that one person. Oh, you keep talking about Black directors. What about Ava? Name someone else besides. I love Ava DuVernay. Name someone else besides Ava. Right. One. There's so many of us, but we just need the opportunity. And I think once we get in that room and prove ourselves, then that's what we'll get the opportunity. But it's just about getting in that room, and they're not letting us in. So now it's time to break down those doors.
Right. And that's, again, why I started kweliTV, because I was very frustrated with the images I saw of people of color, Black people, and I wanted to do something about it. And unfortunately, because of the way cable companies work, if they're, if you feel like, okay, this isn't the particular narrative that, we want to see, or we're going to make money off of it, then we're not going to show it. But it's also our responsibility too, maybe in a way, because I know people who watch, the really racy reality shows. And if we want a different narrative, we have to show that we don't watch it, because if we don't watch it, then they don't get the advertising dollars.
Exactly. And I think it's also about taking a stand. Like, my sister got mad at me because I went to Chick-fil-A the other day. But they made their shows about we stand by the police. We have to stand up for ourselves. Stop going to H&M. H&M said that they don't want to put Black models on their in their stores because people don't really relate to them. But the thing is, Black people watch more TV, shop than any other race, but yet we're the most, I'm not going to say the most, because there are rarely any Asian people on television.
I know.
But, we're the underrepresented race on television. But we're the ones watching TV, supporting every other show. And then I hate when they say Black films. That's another thing. Stop generalizing everything. It's not a Black film. It's just a film that happens to be a film with people of color.
Right.
If you think about it, Sex and the City, I loved it. When you will look at the description of the show, Carrie and her friends go through whatever. But by the time girlfriends, 4 African American women go through whatever. Why are you labeling them? They're just 4 women in LA trying to find love and life and happiness. Stop doing that to us, because it marginalizes us, and then they try to target us only to the Black community. Stop using the word urban. It pisses me off. I hate the word urban. That's another way of saying Black. I remember I went and said like Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, and I called Keisha. I was like, why is there an urban section? I was so pissed. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Wow. I worked at Blockbuster too, and I was like in high school.
But if you think about it, that's the only way we can go in Blockbuster or whatever and find our films, because they're non-existent. Or they market. That's how they market to us. So I kind of get it, but just choose another word, because sometimes they associate urban with ghetto, and they aren't. We're telling our stories. Why does it have to be ghetto? And I always think about the fact with Sopranos. So many Emmy nominations, such a great show. It was about the mob and racketeering and death. But when you get to The Wire, that's ghetto. They're selling drugs. It's the same exact thing, except one is white, or one is another color, or one is Black. But once again, we were deemed ghetto.
Right. Which was
I'm from Australia who loved The Wire. Somebody brought up The Wire at my job the other day who was white. It was just an amazing show. It just happened to have an all-Black cast. So what? Except McNulty.
Yeah. It was an amazing show. I never missed an episode. I used to take it personal, like when someone's murdered, like
still hurt about them killing Wallace.
I was like, oh my God. My husband's like, they're alive. It's okay. Like, no one's dead.
I fell in love with Idris Elba. Stranger, he was beautiful.
But I think the New York Times named them like one of the best shows ever. But we only got one Emmy for like production design or some bullshit like that. Like, are you serious?
Yeah. I know, and it's unfortunate. So just to wrap things up, because we're out of time.
I can talk to you all day. I love this.
Me too. Girl power. for people who are looking at you, it's like, wow, they're creating content, they're working in television, they're filmmakers. How do I get there? Where do I start? Can I even get to their level? What advice would you have for someone who may be watching, who may be interested in doing the same thing?
I would say let that ego go. Learn everything and be a sponge and soak it up. You start from any level. I think I've been going through this recently with different PAs I've been working with. Excuse me, these new millennials, they want it so fast because you get everything in technology so fast and you're not willing to learn your craft and soak up everything you learn from people who have been where you are. So just network and learn everything. Intern, oh, I need money. Get 3 jobs, work those other 2 jobs and get paid for it. And then you intern at the other job. That's how you do that. You make those connections and you learn what you want to do so you can be a master at your craft and not just someone who's just doing it to get a check. That's what I would say.
Nichole?
I would say network.
Mm-hmm.
I think networking is so important. Like, I get my jobs because I work with someone or someone knows someone. Just always be on your P's and Q's. Do a good job. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Mm-hmm. Randomly email somebody look up HBO's production. Hey, I want to work. Look up Celeste Twins at Twitter or whatever it is and say, hey, I want to get in the film. How do I do it? Or can I come work on your set? All they can do is say no. Like, all people can do is say no. It does not hurt to ask. I will ask all day. Hey, Ava, you're working on a film in Louisiana. I'll pay for my own flight. Can I come hang out on set? I'll intern. I'll get coffee. Like, it doesn't hurt to ask. Ava chose, was it Malcolm X or the King character from Selma from someone on Twitter. Like, they sent her a Twitter email, and he auditioned on Twitter and got the audition. Like, had he never done that, stepped out on faith, it never would have happened. So I would say step out on faith and network.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those are all both of you gave really great answers. Thank you so much. It was so awesome. It went by so quickly. It was great talking to both of you, and they have a really awesome film called The Beware right now on kweliTV, and hopefully we can get their other new content. We want real subjects on kweliTV, so if the network say no, we're definitely open to it. But until next time, thank you so much. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another filmmaker from Meet the Filmmaker with kweliTV. I'm DeShuna Spencer. You just spoke with NaKisha and Nichole. And until next time, bye.
Bye, guys.